Well, hi everyone, it's Joe for Joe for Hire. It's Sunday, March 31st, and see how well you can see this. That's snow, a lot of it, well, enough to cover the ground, and enough for me to get a few calls to go shovel some snow. I did about 3 or 4 leaf cleanup jobs this week. Wednesday, I actually got sunburned in the back of my neck. Yeah, I'm a redhead, I can get burned on a cloudy day. Go figure, eh? Every time I've gone to Cuba, I've never got sunburned because I put lots of sunblock on, and then yet I get burnt in late March. It's cold, but that sun is strong. Anyways, yeah, I had to do a few driveways this morning. Nothing too much. Some of it's melting already. The one commercial place I do, well, let's just say they do a lot of business on Sunday, so it had to be done. So I'm coming to you live from our beautiful flats here in St. Mary's. Over behind me is the baseball diamond where I play baseball in the summertime. And yeah, it's hard to believe. It was so nice Friday. Friday I was out doing a huge leaf cleanup job. And guys, I got lucky. The ground was still fairly hard enough. I was able to get my X mark out, put the Ultravac system on. That thing likely saved me, I'm guessing, 2 or 3 hours hard raking. And because like many people, they weren't able to get their leaves cleaned up back in the fall because of the poor weather. Like, they work full time, they come home at night, it's too dark to rake, and then on the weekends it rained and it never dried. It was a dusty job. My girlfriend's son helped me towards after supper, which was good because otherwise we would never got it done before dark. And then the next day it rained, and then it rained all day, and then switched to snow late last night. And crazy, only in Canada. So yeah, not too much. I won't ramble on too long. Just want to quickly say hi and show you how you just never know what March is going to throw at you. Actually, I've seen it snow in April and in May. It's not uncommon for us to get snow in May. It never amounts too much to this, but you just never know. Would like the warm weather to come back that we had. March has been it started off rough, but it kind of got milder. I did some brush cleanup around one place, and then did a few other odd jobs. And I guess the biggest excitement, at least for me anyways, I've been hired by a local movie filmmaker who's recently set up shop in St. Mary's. And they are filming a movie called The Sanctuary. And not going to say too much details about the movie. I'm pretty excited about it. Basically, the company has hired me to move a few props around. Some desks for filming for different settings. There's another location we had to do some cleanup at. Scraping some paint, scraping some old wallpaper off. Just trimming some bushes back. Just enough for them to get into the house. And so that was pretty cool. And it was interesting because, as I pointed out to the filmmaker, you're in St. Mary's now. Everyone's going to know where you're filming. And it was so funny because the one property we're at, well, let's just say it hasn't been used in a long time. The front door was boarded in, and the movie maker said, Joe, we need this door open, and we'll have to figure out how to do it. I went on and had a look. They had just slightly tacked this big board over top, this huge wooden panel over top of the existing door, not to really keep people out, but to mainly just keep down on the draft. Because when we took the door away, the panel off, it was only tacked on by like 4 different nails just to hold it in place. Beautiful original. It's an old farmhouse, so it's a beautiful old original hardwood door. There's frosted glass around both sides of the door and on top. So it's kind of neat. It's like a time capsule, actually, because it is an old farmhouse, nothing too fancy, but these old houses have lots of old character. I have 2 aunts, well, one aunt's gone, but they both enjoyed old houses, and they would love this old place because they always want to fix them up. It is exciting because they only want to do cosmetic work to it. The rest of the house is pretty solid, and it's just, a matter of, wallpaper, paint, and plaster that has to be fixed. So, anyways, my point of the story is one of the local people came out to see the set only because it was his family's home farm. So his great great-grandfather or great-grandfather had built the house there when he immigrated from Ireland, and then his dad was born there, and then the farm was sold outside of the family. But he was so excited to hear they were filming out in his old family's place. He come flying out and just wanted to look inside to see the old place. And it was so funny because I had just taken the door panel off to expose the wooden door, and it was easy to open afterwards. And he was so excited. He goes, "Oh, my great-grandfather, my dad, my grandfather all would have touched this old doorknob." And like, had he came out 20 minutes earlier, it was still sealed up. So it was pretty exciting. He came back a second time with pictures of how the house looked like originally back in the early 1800s or 1854. I'm not exactly sure. And with his relatives or ancestors in the background. He was pretty excited about that. He was talking to the filmmaker, and the filmmaker was he knows him, so it was kind of exciting. And it was kind of neat. They had a big drone flying around. And it's not just like the cheap drones you would buy at the Source or Canadian Tire. This is a professional one. And I'm working around, and all I hear is this buzzing noise. And they said, "Joe, it's not bees. It's Greg flying the drone." And I guess the range on it is 2 miles, like 2 miles up and 2 miles away. So that's pretty cool. So for little old me, it's kind of exciting. I'm not actually going to be in the movie, just basically doing, some basic cleanups, maybe do a little bit of landscape work around the house if they need it, and just a few other odd jobs. So, but I do get my name added to the film credits as greenskeeper. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know when the movie's coming out, but like I said, I've really enjoyed working with this filmmaker. His name's Alan, and a Canadian person, and it's really exciting. I'm trying to think what I can say. I know the ending. I know how the movie ends. I don't know how it starts, but I know it ends, and I don't want to give it away. But it sounds really interesting, and I'm pretty excited. Alan's really good to work for. I met a few of the other crew members too, and that's exciting. And yeah, you just never know where things could lead. So anyways, I think I rambled on and off. You can see across the river there. It's cold. Right about now, about a year ago, we were getting ready to fly off to Cuba, and it actually snowed before we left for Cuba. And when we came back a week later, which was around second week of April, we got into Canada one day before an ice storm. So we just never know what this weather could throw at us. So hey, you just never know what the weather can bring. You never know what a referral can bring. This movie gig was a result as a referral from someone else in St. Mary's, and they referred me to Alan. And Alan called me and said, "Hey, I need a few odd jobs done around here. Can you help us out?" And I said, "Absolutely." Being March, it's kind of an in-between season, but this has been one of the busiest Marches I've had so far. Like I said, I've never had a lawnmower going this early in the year. And that X-Mark guys work great. I can't say enough about that ultra bag system. It does slow you down. You can't, but there was a lot of leaves, and we had like 2 loads of leaf and sticks and debris the whole way. A big shout out to my girlfriend's son Avery for helping me out. He was pretty tired. He actually fell asleep in the back of the truck on the way home, but we didn't get home until about after 10:30. So, but we had the whole equipment back and everything else. So anyways, I hope everyone's having a great week. I know this snow is a shocker to a lot of us up here in Canada. We kind of get teased. We had that really mild spell, and like I said, the weather on Friday was just beautiful. It was great to be outside. I wasn't cold at all. Today I am, so this is why you guys are getting lucky. Because it's cold, I'm not going to talk as long. But anyways, yeah, never know what a referral can bring. Never know what the weather can bring. But in my old Boy Scouts days, our old Boy Scout motto was be prepared. And if you be prepared and you do good work, and especially in a small town, word gets around. So I don't know if you can see there or not. There's 2 Canada geese. They were up here actually at one point, but this is flooded. There's the park bench there. This is actually, really the edge of the river's right there. So yeah, we got a lot of water and it's cold. So I'm going to go home and get warm and get ready for the week, because who knows, maybe I've had my 15 minutes of fame and working for a movie guy, and it's pretty exciting. It was like exciting to watch the drone fly overhead. So yeah, you just never know. Anyways, yeah guys, if you check it out on social media, if you're in Canada, look up The Sanctuary. It's by Alan Cool and his production crew. There's other people involved in it. It is a Canadian movie, filmed right here in Canada at St. Mary's. So I think we're going to become the Hollywood North of Canada now. And one way we're glad to have the attention, but another way it's like, what if it changes the small town? What if, you know, tourists are, well, it'd be nice if tourists came here. They do in the summertime. But anyways, we're just going to have fun with it. I enjoy working with Alan. Appreciate the work, especially this time of year when it's usually an in-between season, and the way the weather is, you never know where to send the snowblower out or pull the lawnmower out. But anyways, guys, have a great week. Keep busy, keep doing the good work, and your name, if you do good work and you look after your customers, I guarantee your name's going to get spread around as a person that's reliable and does good work, and it pays off in dividends once in a while. So guys, this is Joe for Joe for Hire, signing off.